Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about how you can forgive yourself. I have written a couple tips that you can use that have really helped me release a lot of guilt and shame from my past. So let's get started. All right, so the number one tip I have for you guys is being able to cultivate self-compassion. Being able to be loving toward yourself, because I think that we are all our worst critic, and it is so easy for us to be hard on ourselves. And it's crazy because if you sit with yourself and you listen to all of like the negative self-talk and the things that you say to yourself, imagine if you were to say that to someone that you really love, like your best friend. You would never say those things to your best friend, so why are you saying them to yourself? So having self-compassion has been the biggest thing for me that has really helped me cultivate more self-compassion and just being kinder with myself so that I'm not replaying those negative self-thoughts in my head. So when I notice those things come up, I try to be aware of like where they came from, because everything that we play in our mind really isn't our thoughts. I kind of think of it as something that was learned in your childhood. You know, someone told you those things, because we don't just naturally have negative self-talk. It was probably someone in your environment that was projecting those things onto you, and you learned at some point that criticizing yourself was somehow a good thing. So let's remove that out of our brain and completely start fresh and realize that having self-compassion and love for yourself is so important in order for you to feel happy and to show up your best in any relationship, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love others. Moving on to number two. Number two for me was understanding that we all do our best in every situation, so there's no point in holding on to guilt and shame. I can give you an example from my past. There were times where I was very triggered and I may have said like a lot of harsh things or mean things to someone, or maybe I really hurt someone else. Instead of looking back on that situation and being like, oh my gosh, Holly, I can't believe you did that. You're such a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. Being able to look back on it and say, wow, I did do that. Being able to take personal accountability for it, but then realize that in the moment, I did my best. I was probably hurting. I was probably in a really bad situation where I couldn't show up as my kinder self. But there's no point in guilting or shaming yourself for those situations. We all do our best in the moment with what we know. And I know this can be really triggering for some people too, because there are a lot of people out there who do very mean things, who are very hurtful, who cause a lot of pain on a lot of people. But the sad thing is, those people are hurting so much because hurt people hurt people. People who are in a good place within themselves do not hurt other people. So with that in mind, it allows me to have more compassion for self. It allows me to have more compassion for others. And then the way I show up is a lot more forgiving toward myself and toward others, because I realize now everyone is doing their best with the situations and the things that they know. And I would say the last thing that I want to leave you with is, I think that it is so normal for us in our society, in our families and things like that, to be so hard on ourselves. And I find that it's easier for me to forgive other people, but for whatever reason, it was always hard for me to forgive myself. And I honestly believe that that's just because we know what we've done, and we obviously live with the guilt and the shame of the past experiences or the things that we think we've done that are so bad and so wrong. And because that's playing within our head, we use that almost as like a self-imprisonment of saying like, oh, you should have done better, or you could have done this or whatever. But that never gets us anywhere. That never helps us move forward. And I think that as a whole, as society, as a collective, if we were able to come together and be more compassionate on ourselves first, practice self-forgiveness, we would then be able to forgive other people and have healthier relationships, have a healthier society, less war, and everything would be much more peaceful and loving. And that's pretty much all I have for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching, as always. If you're looking for a coach or if you're interested in working with me, my information is in the description box below. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments section. Please let me know if there are any things that you want to hear about or topics that you want me to touch on. And as always, give the video a like because it does help my channel a lot. I'm so happy that I get to build this community with you guys on YouTube because it just creates a safe space for us all to be able to connect and to heal and grow and evolve and love together. So thank you for joining, and I'm so excited and I'm happy, and I hope that I will see you guys in my next video.